Rules of the Road, Chapter 24. Whack! The killer cane came down on the banister. Mrs. Gladstone announced, "I'd rather eat live snakes than go to this meeting." It was 3:30, Thursday. The stockholders' meeting started in 1.5 hours. I was standing in Mrs. Gladstone's kitchen wearing my green shirt, khaki skirt, and 1.5-inch heeled pumps. Mrs. Gladstone stuck a bony thumb toward the door, which meant we were leaving now or else. We walked out the door. Alice was waiting for us on the porch. The heat was mean and heavy. I'd washed the Cadillac myself early this morning, but nobody noticed. Mrs. Gladstone said, "Let's get this over with." Alice put her hand around Mrs. Gladstone's shoulder, but Mrs. Gladstone shook it off. I helped her in the back seat. She was wearing a red 2-piece suit with a striped blouse and sat there trying to be tough, writing notes in her blue leather folder with angry movements. Alice said, "Madeline, honey," and got glared at. I started up the Cadillac. "You sure look ready for anything, Mrs. Gladstone," I said, and headed down the driveway as she grunted. It wasn't until I took a quick peek at her in the rearview mirror that I saw her smile. I pulled up to the tall glass headquarters of Gladstone's Shoes in downtown Dallas. The windows were sparkling like they had no idea the deceit that was going on behind them. The sun was shining like all was well. The parking lot was filling up with Mercedeses and Chevy Suburbans. I dropped Mrs. Gladstone and Alice off at the entrance and said I'd meet them inside. Mrs. Gladstone moved slowly to the double glass doors, looked back at me and smiled bravely. Then she squared her old shoulders and walked inside with Alice behind her. I parked in the executive-only section, and if anyone gave me any guff about it, I was going to give it right back. I cracked my knuckles and got out of the car. The heat hung thick and depressive like a rotten mood. I walked into the building, following the signs to the stockholders' meeting, down the long, polished hall. A large, jovial man was standing at the door to the meeting room, checking off people's names as they came in. I jingled the car keys in my hand and started toward him. That's when Eldon Gladstone jumped in front of me. "Jenna," he said, "I want to thank you personally for all you've done for my mother." You could have knocked me over. I looked down at him. Then he swiped the car keys from my hands and put them in his pocket. "We're not going to be needing your services now that she is retiring." My heart beat very fast. "You understand," Eldon said smoothly. We'll have someone drive you to the airport." This wasn't happening. "I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand. I'm supposed to drive your mother back to Chicago." Eldon broke into a fake smile. "Let's put it another way. You're fired." I stepped back. "You will be on the 7 p.m. flight today back to Chicago. Here's your ticket." He slapped it in my hand. "Your severance check will be mailed to you at home, along with your luggage. Don't expect a referral from this company, ever." I stood there holding the ticket, frozen. A tall man with a bushy mustache appeared like a bad dream. Eldon said, "Mac will get you a taxi. No one pushes me around." And then he laughed and started walking off. "I'd like to talk to your mother, Mr. Gladstone. She's the one who hired me." I said this with more courage than I felt. Eldon Gladstone turned to me like just looking at me hurt his eyes. "My mother doesn't have anything to do with this company anymore," he snapped. "She wanted me at the meeting." He looked at my shoes. "Stockholders only." "But," he nodded to Mac, who took my arm firmly and led me out the door onto the stifling street. I tried to shake my arm free. I couldn't do it. My insides were shaking. A cab pulled up. Mac gave the driver $30. Dallas Airport, Mac said coarsely to the driver, and opened the door for me. I got inside because I didn't know what else to do. Think. Any bags? The driver asked. They'll be sent, Mac said flatly. I felt like I was getting kicked out of the country. Mac stood firm by the cab in case I made a break for it. He crossed his thick arms and glared at me. I looked away. I couldn't think. Dallas Airport it is, said the cabbie, and started off.